Marine checkpoints, Army checkpoints against citizens. That's admitted. Did these Austin SWAT team guys understand how they were being acclimated and trained, or did they think it was fun?
I'm going to be honest with you. They thought it was fun. Now, these weren't guys that were fresh out of SWAT school. These were veterans, hardened, that are going to take what they learned here and go back and train the rest of their buddies and the noobs that come in. Now, I mean, there's a lot of theories, and I'm sure there's so many theories about how exactly and why exactly the Iraq War started, because there's so many you can't even list.
The Pentagon admits it's a giant laboratory. One reason is to train a giant cohort of troops to come here for martial law. Go ahead.
That's absolutely right. That's all it is. We've been there, and everyone in my unit, everyone in the Army who's been to Iraq, that's pretty much all you do, is you create martial law, and you're okay with it.
Is anybody seeing through this? Do they know that the bankers have taken over? Do they know they're planning to cut our energy off with the carbon tax?
I'm trying to wake them up. Not many, but enough to start something.
What were these guys' names in the Austin SWAT team?
This was what was weird. They had no name tapes. The only thing on their uniform was Austin SWAT, and they thought it was great that they were out there. In fact, they were passing out patches to us like we enjoyed having them out there.
It's totally illegal. Well, they've expanded Austin SWAT, and the city is completely criminal run. They just rob everything. The carbon taxes have been passed, and we just live in a hell, because wherever there's money, the parasites are going to be there sucking our blood. I don't even want to go to New Braunfels now. I even got a ticket while I was there. I didn't even recognize my inspection sticker was out. But they were there. The cops were just looking at the public like they were T-bone steaks, man. And don't worry, cops. America's done. It's collapsing. You're going to have your way. Okay? Your children have no future. Good job, guys. You've ruined the country for the bankers. God bless you, Mike. We'll be right back.
We're on the march. The empire's on the run. Alex Jones and the GCN Radio Network.
Hi, folks. This is Alex Jones asking you for a minute of your time to tell you about soap. Not detergents, but good old-fashioned pure soap made by the Cal Ben Soap Company, a family-owned and operated American company. My family, staff, friends, and radio listeners are constantly telling me how much they love these products for bath, hair, laundry, and dishes. There is nothing like these factory-direct, big money-saving, triple-concentrated soaps anywhere. Get a free detailed catalog by calling 800-340-7091 or see them online at 5starsoap.com or Infowars.com. Let's talk to the owner of 5 Star Soap, Marty Schachter, and see what he has to say.
As founder and owner for over 63 years, people keep asking me, how's business? I'm happy to say our business is going down the drain. Call us at 1-800-340-7091. Visit our website, 5starsoap.com, for buying our 1 to 2 month soap sampler. Thank you.
Let me tell you a little bit about one of our great sponsors, HomeGain.com. This is the place to get you started buying or selling a home, finding a realtor, and getting any real estate questions answered. Go to HomeGain.com and see what I'm talking about. All you need to do is type in your home address, and you will get an instant free estimate of your home's value online. This is a great way to be able to monitor the value of your home. And again, it's absolutely free. There are tons of tools to help you. For instance, if you want to remodel your home, go to HomeGain.com. Use their Home Sale Maximizer to help you determine which home improvements can most increase your home's value before you put it on the market. For 10 years, these folks have been helping home sellers and buyers. Visit their link at Infowars.com. Look for Max, the orange Home Gain Gorilla, to help you with any real estate needs you might have. You'll love this site. It's HomeGain.com. HomeGain.com. Check them out today.
Thousands of Americans are facing evacuation. If you or any of your loved ones might need to evacuate, you must do it yourselves. Please don't procrastinate until they do it for you. Remember the terrible conditions of those that didn't get out for Katrina. Go right now to efoodsdirect.com/Alex or call 800-409-5633 for information on the new Evacuation Pack. It contains 2 weeks of delicious, easy-to-fix food, along with the equipment to prepare it. It's packed in a rugged, heavy-duty tote for transport. Evacuations are looming with the storms and the Gulf oil catastrophe. No matter where you live, wildfires, earthquakes, floods, and storms must be escaped. Don't be like a deer frozen in the headlights of oncoming disaster. At least prepare yourself with this 2-week evacuation pack from efoodsdirect.com. Call 800-409-5633. On the web, efoodsdirect.com/Alex.
We are back live. We're going to John Young of Cryptome.org here in a moment to talk about the aftermath of 92,000 plus documents released over the weekend by WikiLeaks. And he has worked with them some in the past. We're going to him here in just a moment. Wayne Madsen joins us for 30 minutes in the next hour to talk about it as well. Then I got a big news blitz coming up that is key information, so please stay with us for that. Before we go to our guest, I want to tell you about efoodsdirect.com. This is insurance you can eat, store safely for 10-plus years, only the best ingredients. This is the real deal, 30-plus years in business. They're patriots and have supported the movement. They have a bunch of different food lines, different types of foods, whether they're gourmet or just the raw foods or special diets, all available at efoodsdirect.com. And in these crazy times, when the government is all over the place gearing up for real martial law, depression, all of it, you need to have high-quality, storable food now more than ever. efoodsdirect.com. That's efoodsdirect.com or 800-409-5633. And then I also want to tell you about a Cola Blue, the atmospheric water generator. They got a bunch of different units. It looks like a water cooler without the water bottle. And it just grabs the condensation out of the air, puts it through 7 to 12 filters, depending on which unit you get, stores it in a stainless steel tank on the bottom. The best, cleanest, purest drinking water you can get. I love it. Acolablue.com. Another way to get off the grid, ECOLOBLUE.com. They've got solar panel systems that they can recommend for you to get. Acolablue.com or 800-691-6043. 800-691-6043. Acolablue.com. Okay, for those that just joined us, it's the top story all over the news. I'm sure you've seen it, that WikiLeaks has released 92,000 plus documents, mainly dealing with the Afghan war and what they say are massacres. And what I noticed immediately is much of what's in these documents, we haven't had time to go through them all. Most of them haven't been released. They've been given to the mainstream media, which makes me question things. I don't know what's really happening here. WikiLeaks released an Army document a few years ago where they train captains and above how to stage terror attacks and black ops. They've released a lot of good stuff. But I know that people I respect like John Young have had some questions. Madsen goes even further. He's joining us coming up in about 25 minutes to give us his take on what's happening, both with these new documents and what he thinks of WikiLeaks. It's also been pointed out and by callers, and it is in the New York Times today, that these documents point to the Army believing that Pakistan is protecting and working with the Taliban. Well, our own government, I put up the MSNBC article. It's in my film Road to Tyranny I put out 8 years ago, or 3 or 4 months after 9/11, more than 8 years ago, where they flew 6,000 Taliban and al-Qaeda leaders out to safety. It was basically a staged war. And we know the CIA created the Taliban and al-Qaeda. We know the CIA admitted a month ago they created fake bin Laden videos. So I don't know what to think of this, and it'll take a time to really burrow down into it. But joining us is John Young, kind of the proto-WikiLeaks, that's been around for more than a decade and was one of the guys that helped found with the Electronic Frontiers Foundation and many other organizations. So we know John's a good guy. And John, give us your take on this big story.
Well, the first thing I'd like to say is that we don't know if these files, and they are digital files, these are not documents, these are not paper documents, they're only digital files. We don't know if they're authentic or not. What we have 3 versions in major newspapers and 1 version on WikiLeaks, and these are only digital versions. And apparently the files are made in the field on computers and sent in to headquarters. And the problem, and so I'll just say is, first of all, when they say it's the biggest dump of military documents, these are not documents, these are digital files. And the reason I emphasize that is that digital files are notoriously easy to manipulate, forge, change, and doctor. And so, and none of these 3 newspaper sites our WikiLeaks provides the original files. They only provide doctored and packaged versions. And so WikiLeaks has been known to put up original documents, as does my site. But these are not original documents, and they're only digital files. So that has not been pointed out, how easy it is to manipulate digital files. And many of the world's intelligence services are dumping huge amounts of digital files onto the Internet right now. And so we don't know for sure whether this is a major revelation or not, or WikiLeaks has been snookered, or if these newspapers have been snookered, and it hasn't been talked about, actually. Now, I say this because WikiLeaks in the past has used digital signatures on every one of their documents to prove authentication. This is the first time they've not done that. So none of these files are digitally authenticated by WikiLeaks, and we find that curious. We also find it curious that for the first time, WikiLeaks released documents to major media before they released it to the public. They've never done that before. They've always opposed that approach. So we don't know what this means, actually, whether this is an orchestrated dump of documents, how they were able to get these major newspapers who are normally extremely skeptical of WikiLeaks to join this campaign. And so there are many answers yet to be